In the heart of the Volta region, where the morning mist still clung to the emerald hills, lay the village of Tafi Atome. Here, the earth breathed with the scent of wet clay after the night's gentle rain, and the forest canopy hummed with unseen life. It was a place where ancient spirits were said to walk among the living, and the wisdom of the ancestors guided every step. Adu, a farmer whose hands knew the soil intimately, bent low over his yam mound. His kente wrapper, faded by sun and time, moved with his rhythmic labor. His hoe, a trusted companion, struck something unyielding beneath the soft earth. A jolt ran through him, a tremor of curiosity and a hint of unease. He knelt, brushing away the rich, red soil with trembling fingers. What he uncovered made his breath catch in his throat. There, half buried, lay a calabash. It was unlike any vessel he had ever seen, glowing with an inner light, as if molten gold had been poured into its very essence. Its surface shimmered, reflecting the nascent sun with an unnatural brilliance. His wife Abla, her wrapper tied tight for farm work, ran barefoot across the field, drawn by his sudden stillness. Her gasp echoed his own, a sound of awe and wonder. "The gods of the forest have favored us," she exclaimed, her voice filled with a hopeful reverence. She saw only blessing, a sign of divine benevolence. But later, under the vast shade of the ancient silk cotton tree, the village chief listened to Adu's tale with a solemn expression. His eyes, deep pools of ancestral wisdom, held a flicker of concern. He shook his head slowly, his voice a low rumble. "Adu, the gods do not give without taking. This calabash, though it shines like the sun, may be a gift, or it may be a curse." His words hung in the air, a chilling prophecy. Adu, however, dismissed the chief's caution. The allure of the golden calabash was too strong, its promise too intoxicating. He soon discovered its true, astonishing power. When he poured water into its gleaming interior, it did not merely hold the liquid. Instead, the water transformed, overflowing with sparkling dust that solidified into gleaming cowries and pieces of pure gold. His mud hut, once humble and weathered, was swiftly plastered anew, its walls gleaming with fresh ochre. His wives, who had known only simple cotton, now wore wrappers of the finest, most vibrant cloth, their necks adorned with beads of rare beauty. His children, whose meals had often been meager, now ate succulent meat every single night, their laughter echoing through the village. The people of Tafi Atome watched Adu's sudden prosperity with a mixture of emotions. Some whispered with envy, their eyes following his every move, longing for a share of his newfound fortune. Others, however, spoke with a growing fear, their voices hushed, remembering the chief's ominous warning. They sensed a darkness beneath the golden glow, a price yet to be paid. But as the days turned into weeks, and Adu's wealth grew beyond measure, a sinister change began to unfold. When night fell and the village quieted into the deep slumber of the forest, a voice would seep from the golden calabash. It was a low, insidious whisper, like smoke curling from a dying fire, chilling Adu to the bone. "Feed me," it demanded, its voice growing stronger with each passing night. "More, feed me." Adu trembled, a cold dread seeping into his heart. He began to feed it, desperately trying to appease its insatiable hunger. First, he offered it the plumpest yams from his fields. Then, he sacrificed his finest chickens, their squawks silenced by the calabash's demands. Still, the whispers persisted, growing louder, more insistent. He fed it his goats, then his cattle, but the hunger of the calabash seemed endless. His wife Abla, her face etched with worry, clutched her beads tightly, her eyes pleading with him. "This is no blessing, Adu," she warned, her voice trembling with fear. "It is hunger, a consuming emptiness. End it before it ends you. Let us return to our simple life, for this path leads only to ruin." But Adu, blinded by greed, could not hear her. Greed, like a venomous serpent, had poisoned Adu's heart, twisting his once simple desires into a monstrous obsession. The Calabash's demands had become a relentless torment, a constant, gnawing presence in his mind. He had given it everything he owned, yet its hunger remained unquenched, its whispers growing into a deafening roar within his soul. One moonless night, driven to the brink of madness by its ceaseless demands, Adu made a final, desperate offering. He pricked his finger, watching as a single drop of his own blood welled up, crimson against his skin. With a trembling hand, he let the drop fall into the golden calabash. The vessel shuddered violently, a deep, resonant hum filling the air. Then, with a sound like a thunderclap tearing the very fabric of the night, it split open. A blinding flash of light erupted, followed by a surge of thick, black smoke and searing fire. From its belly, a chorus of wailing souls, ancient and tormented, surged forth, their cries echoing through the terrified village. The earth of Tafia-Tomi shook violently, as if in agony. Adu's house, once a symbol of his prosperity, collapsed into a gaping pit of black ash, swallowed whole by the earth. When dawn finally broke, casting its pale light over the devastation, only the smoking pit remained. In its center, cracked and broken, sat the golden calabash, its once brilliant glow now dull and malevolent, still whispering faintly for its next master. The tale of Adu and the golden calabash serves as a stark reminder. It teaches us that true wealth lies not in endless accumulation, but in contentment and balance. Unchecked greed, like a hungry fire, consumes everything in its path, leaving only desolation and regret. The most alluring gifts can often hide the most terrible curses. Will you open the calabash or leave it buried? Subscribe for more. Tomorrow's short, the moment the calabash cracked open.